Hello and welcome to Newsroom series. I'm Ayotunde Balugum. Of course, today our focus is on the North Central region. But first, let's serve you our top stories for the day. Troops of the Nigerian army deployed in the northeast have announced the rescue of Lydia Simon, a Chibok girl who had been held captive by Boko Haram terrorists for several years. A statement from the Department of Army Public Relations says Lydia, who was on serial number 68 among the abducted, missing Chibok secondary school girls, was rescued along with her 3 children by troops conducting Operation Desert Sanity 3 around Ngoshe in Gwaza local government area of Borno State. Lydia is 5 months pregnant at the time of her rescue and claimed to be from Pemi town in Chibok. The All Progressives Congress, that's the APC, has dragged Justice Usman Naaba of the Kano State High Court before the National Judicial Council for granting an ex parte order restraining the party's national chairman Abdullahi Ganduje from further parading himself as the party's leader. Now, the restraining order by the judge followed Monday's suspension of Mr. Ganduje by executives of the Ganduje ward in the Dawakin Tofa local government area of Kano State. The ex parte application had as applicant the Ganduje ward legal advisor Haladu Gwanjo and the ward's assistant secretary Lamino Baguma. Listed as respondents in the suit are the APC National Working Committee, the Kano State APC Executive Committee, and Mr. Ganduje as the 4th respondent. The legal advisor of the APC Ganduje ward Dawakin Tofa local government area of Kano State, Haladu Gwanjo, had addressed journalists in Kano, declaring Mr. Ganduje suspended, and the decision was taken by the ward leadership in view of the bribery allegations hanging on Mr. Ganduje. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB has directed all computer-based test center owners to arrest any parent who is found near any of their facilities during the 2024 UTME exercise. The directive was issued at the final briefing of the computer-based test center owners, which was held virtually on Wednesday, April the 17th. A statement from the spokesman of the board, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, says this directive became necessary following the intrusive disposition of some parents during the board's previous exercises. So let's head to the courts now in the nation's capital, where the Kogi State former governor, Mr. Yahaya Bello, was visibly absent, as told by the counsel to the EFCC, Kemi Pinero, to the Federal High Court, Abuja, revealing that the immediate past governor is being protected by someone with immunity, the same person who whisked him out of his residence. Now, he pointed out that immunity is not attached to a home, but to a person. And if it is necessary, the EFCC will seek the military to fish Mr. Yahaya Bello out to come face his arraignment. Now, the EFCC counsel wonders why he is running, if indeed he is innocent. Responding to the submission, Yahaya Bello, through his counsel, Abdul Wahab Muhammad, told the court that there is an order of the court restraining the EFCC from arresting or arraigning him. He says the Kogi State High Court had on February the 9th restrained the EFCC from arresting or arraigning the former Kogi State governor. Mr. Mohammed also says that it was a fundamental rights suit filed by the former governor, of which the EFCC was represented in that suit. However, the EFCC has appealed the ruling, and the Court of Appeal is yet to decide on it. Now, the counsel to the EFCC disagreed with the submission of the counsel to Mr. Bello that ruling in the substantive matter on the suit was delivered on March the 17th by the Kogi State High Court, even as the court ordered that Mr. Bello be produced before today for his arraignment. However, the counsel to Yahaya Bello is insisting before the court that the order for his arrest was made out of its jurisdiction. Meanwhile, the media office of the embattled former governor of Kogi State is accusing the EFCC of adjusting the charge against Yahaya Bello to read 80 billion naira, and that the money was now stolen in February of 2016. According to a statement today from the media team, this is barely 3 weeks before the former governor assumed office, raising concerns about the allegations. The statement reads in part, "We want to draw the attention of the President to the fact that the abuse of court processes and prosecutorial powers by the EFCC is assuming a dangerous dimension that the head of the Commission might not even have paid attention to. We still want to assume that he is being misled into political persecution rather than diligent prosecution by bad eggs within the system. working with criminals masquerading as politicians, end quote. According to the former governor's media office, all that is happening currently is that the EFCC is unwittingly availing itself to evil political forces who have ulterior motives. And to Benue State now, where farmers and communities along the 35-kilometer Ihu-Andura to Vandekia Road have lauded Governor Hyacinth Alia for creating access to farms and orchards where Cameroonian traders come to buy oranges. The road projects, which consist of concrete cast drainage, solar-powered lights and asphalting across over 18 communities, has seen the price of oranges rise from 500 naira per bag to as high as 7,000 naira, a situation farmers attribute to the ongoing project.
Construction work on the Ihu-Andura to Vandekia Farm Access Road has reached advanced stage, with earth filling and compacting. Workers on site are in a hurry to meet the project timeline of 2 years, as work on concrete drainages is set to begin, as the contractor and government officials speak on the project.
Each road work project has a concrete drainage because you have to evacuate the water from the road, not to disturb the movement, not to cause any accident or any harm to the passengers and to the cars.
The road has a lot for Benue. The economic nature of that place will be boosted. That place is more of a home of citrus. You see oranges that are there that they were wasting on a daily basis because marketers will not risk themselves to go to a place where there's no road, where there's no access road. Today, that road already, what has been done, it has been excavated, and what they're now doing is refilling of the place before they get drainages, and then the rest of the process will be done.
Beneficiaries, who are mainly farmers, say the value for their work has now increased as they cite the need for a juice processing plant.
We also want to send a message to him so that he can give us or establish companies here that can process this orange now. We can preserve them, process them, and sell. With that, I think it will help us better.
Before we trade here to you to get even machine, it's hard for you. Now we are very grateful because government can't do us fine work.
There are some places that the vehicle will not go to carry our oranges. Our crops are being destroyed because of bad load. When there's rainy season, we cannot even go to market because of bad load. We believe that our product will yield very well and our product will not be destroyed by the grace of God.
Besides, business is booming. As a Cameroonian orange dealer says, in his 30 years at buying, things are better with the new administration concerning infrastructure development.
More than 30 years we buy, we get difficult for route for coming this side. But now, this year we can we meet as in the fix the route. We appreciate.
When completed, the 34-kilometer Ihu-Andura Farm Access Road will improve local economy, and locating a juice processing plant here will create more wealth for the farmers.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, is raising the alarm that about 14.4% of Nigerians are abusing drugs. At a two-day training organized for local government administrators in Kwara State, the agency says the statistics is rather disturbing. It's also calling for concerted efforts of all stakeholders to wage war against drug abuse, especially from the grassroots.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
According to the drug survey in 2018, that 14.4% of Nigerians have been found to be using drugs around that period between 2026-2017, and this result was declared in 2018 by the UNODC, and this is very disturbing, it's very alarming. We also found out that 1 out of 7 people in Nigeria is a drug user, 1 out of 4 drug users is a woman, and 1 out of 5 drug users is an injecting drug user. So these data are very alarming, they are very disturbing.
The purpose of why we are here is to build the capacity of policymakers. If they are not abreast with the current situations, if they don't know the gravity of the drug situation we have, they won't be able to make any policy. That's why we are taking them on drug prevention, treatment, and care. And at the same time, take them through the National Drug Control Master Plan, which is a working document by Nigeria, which is going to help us in formulating policies and way to address substance use challenges in our communities.
Meanwhile, the Kwara State chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Jide Ashunibare, promised that his members will engage grassroots stakeholders with a view to tackling the menace.
You discover that nowadays you see a lot of youth misbehaving on the streets. Not even on the streets alone, even when you get at home, they misbehave. And if you look at the bottom line of what happens to be instigated them to misbehave, you realize that there is this drug abuse being perpetrated by these young people. So when the commander now came to us that there's a need to do all this type of run, it was welcomed by everybody that is a very good one. At least it will give us opportunity to be able to know how to handle drug abuses in our respective places.
The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SSANU, has threatened to embark on an indefinite strike if the federal government does not pay the 4-month withheld salaries of its members over the strike embarked upon 2 years ago. This is the resolution of SSANU at its 73rd regular statutory meeting of Zonal Executive Council of Western Zone held at the Kwara State University, where they appealed to Nigerians to prevail on the federal government because the effect of strikes may affect all education stakeholders across the country.
Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities embarked on a strike action 2 years ago to press home their demands for good conditions of service, among other demands. After signing an agreement with the Buhari government 2 years ago, the association claims the federal government is still withholding 4 months' salary under its no work, no pay rule. The Western Zone of SSANU is deliberating on the way forward at the campus of the Kwara State University on how to convince the federal government to release the withheld salaries.
We're a union that does not believe that the first thing we should do is to lock the gates or go on strike. However, unfortunately, what we have asked them to do with respect to the payment of our withheld salaries as from the 2022 strike are still pending.
While the Kwasu branch of SSANU also enumerates various challenges being faced, the management of the school gives assurances of measures being taken to tackle them.
We still have pending challenges which we would like the management to look into for the convenience and future career attainment of our hard-working members. These include conversion of cadre for our members who have stepped up their qualifications, review of career structure to meet up with other federal university standards.
We believe that a harmonious working relationship is essential for achieving our common objectives and fulfilling our mandate of providing quality education and service to our students and society at large.
The leadership of the union says it might not have an option but to embark on a total shutdown if the federal government fails to do the needful.
It's only natural that where there is discontent and where there is dissatisfaction with the state of affairs, particularly when it affects the welfare of our members, going on strike, going on total strike, comprehensive strike will not be out of place.
At the end of the interaction, SSANU appealed to the education stakeholders in the country to prevail on the federal government to avoid the strike by quickly paying them the withheld 4-month salary, since it was agreed before calling off the strike then that no member will be victimized.
When we return after the break, Kogi State Government unveils online registration portal for Students Bursary Award 2024. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We're in Kogi State now, where the state government has asked indigents of the state studying in tertiary institutions across the country to register for its Bursary Award in order to benefit from the state government scholarship program. The executive chairman of the scholarship board, Afolabi Joseph Raji, stated this while addressing newsmen in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, during the unveiling of the online registration process of the Ododo Students Bursary Award 2024.
Indigent students in Kogi State can now continue enjoying monetary support from the Kogi State government following the reintroduction of the State Bursary Award to help students cope with the present economic realities. The initiative was first launched by the administration of the late Abubakar Audu, but was not sustained by subsequent government. Now it's back, and the first edition under the new government is called the Ododo Student Support 2024.
Based on the mandate of His Excellency and based on
the Commissioner for Education and his team, the management of the Kogi State Scholarship Board, and the President of the National Association of Kogi State Students gather at the conference hall in Lokoja, the state capital, to see a demonstration of the online application process, which is free, seamless and transparent, and already very busy.
If you log on to https://scholarshipboard.kogistate.gov.ng, it will take you to the scholarship board's website. If you look to the screen to my right, to your left, you will see the website of the board. And as soon as you land on that website, all you need to do is to click on Apply for Bursary. And once you click on Apply for Bursary, as you can see, the page there opens up. This information is also accessible on smartphones, not just on computers. So as soon as you put in your email address, it takes you to your biodata page.
President of the National Association of Kogi State Students, Jeremiah Elupo, thanks the governor for the gesture and for prioritizing students' welfare.
I would like to give kudos to the Kogi State Scholarship Board because this is a step in the right direction. I think the executive chairman is right by saying this is a new Kogi State Scholarship Board because this is a wonderful process. The manner by which the process is being conducted, it's wonderful.
The reintroduction of the Bursary Award is part of the state's 10-year education development strategic plan, strictly for students of Kogi State origin in tertiary institutions across the country.
Let us encourage everybody to log in and satisfy all the criteria that is necessary for them to benefit. This government has been committed to two things. Number one, planning. Number two, funding. We have planned properly and we are adequately funding education in Kogi State.
The government urges students to take advantage of the pre-qualification process and ensure they enroll massively within the time frame.
The Renewed Hope Initiative has reiterated its commitment to supporting women farmers nationwide towards strengthening the agriculture sector to achieve sustainable development. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, stated this in Jos, Plateau State at the flag-off of the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program for North Central, and that the initiative will not only transform lives of beneficiaries, but also contribute to food sufficiency in the geopolitical zone.
140 women farmers drawn from 6 states of the North Central, comprising Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Benue, Niger, Plateau, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, are to receive 500,000 naira each as part of the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Agricultural Support Program. Representative of the wife of the president, Mrs. Salamatu Gbajabiamila, who is also the Director, Economic Empowerment, emphasized on the collaboration between the Renewed Hope Initiative and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to empower more potential farmers to address food sufficiency.
The Renewed Hope Initiative will be collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to empower empower more potential farmers. In this phase, 75% of the beneficiaries will be young female farmers, while 25% will be for our young male farmers. They will all be specially identified, trained, and empowered. Also, the pre-identified 80 women farmers in each state for our agricultural support program will be carried along. I want to implore our women farmers receiving support today to seize this opportunity to expand their agricultural ventures.
In his remarks, Governor Caleb Mutfwang acknowledges the contributions of women to national development, economic sustainability, and food security.
Without them, I think we would have lost a valuable proportion of our workforce in Nigeria. It is therefore one of the motivations for us as a government to promote the development of the girl child and also to enhance the capacity of our women to be able to take care of themselves, take care of their children, take care of their families, and take care of the larger society.
Addressing the beneficiaries through her representative, Mrs. Remi Tinubu urges them to use the funds to contribute to the growth of the agricultural sector.
This support will enable the women to reach their full potential and contribute to the growth and development of our agricultural sector. Similarly, disabled individuals in our society also face significant barriers to economic empowerment and social inclusion. Again, the First Lady of the nation took it upon herself to provide them with the necessary support and resources to live fulfilling and productive lives.
Highlights on the flag-off include the presentation of checks to representatives and coordinators of the North Central states, as well as financial assistance to persons with physical challenges to support them in their vocations.
Strengthening collaborations and synergies for better health programs implementation is crucial if Nigeria must attain the goal of eliminating HIV and AIDS by the year 2030. This is the submission of participants at the 4th biannual stakeholder engagement organized by the Center for Disease Control and other implementing partners. Our correspondent, Victoria Longjohn, reports.
Key stakeholders and policy makers gather here for the 4th biannual stakeholders meeting organized by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and other implementing partners with the theme, Improving Public Health Programs Through Science. The prevalence of HIV/AIDS in Nigeria is a concern, and these thought leaders are looking to review the progress, challenges and the future strategies in combating HIV and AIDS, particularly with the introduction of science.
Through evidence-based decision-making, the use of science to guide program design and implementation is a huge strength, and the transparent sharing of challenges and best practices makes our work stronger. The innovative ideas, the rigorous data, the rigorous theories and philosophical approaches need to be brought into a common space so they can be discussed and they can be debated so we can learn from each other so we can correct errors. This is how we tackle public health threats in general. This is certainly how we're going to end HIV as a public health threat in the next few years.
What has been a little weaker that we are, trying to do better with is make sure that the science that is being identified is used to impact policy. So I would say, yes, Nigeria is absolutely there. The other thing that I will say has been an enabler for that is President Tinubu's own Renewed Hope agenda. And then having that domesticated by his health coordinating minister in the Health Renewal Investment Program.
The Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, who acknowledged some of the successes in eliminating HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, also stated that more work and collaboration needs to be done.
The global response says there's need to have epidemic control of HIV by the year 2030. And then, of course, there's this global target of 95, 95, 95. So we're trying to achieve this target even here in Nigeria, and we're doing well with the support of all our international partners.
The message here is clear. infuse science in the efforts by stakeholders in channeling a sustainable roadmap towards eliminating not just HIV and AIDS, but other disease outbreaks. Victoria Longjon for Channels Television News.
And with that, we draw the curtain on the program Newsroom series. Thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balu.